All right, let's get this show on the road now. The State Department of Energy is appearing before the National Assembly's Committee on Energy over the 2023-24 financial estimates. Now, the estimates have allocated the Energy Department 61 billion shillings, though it is raising key concerns of a more funding needed by the sector. Noah Kipkemboy now joins us with the latest. Noah, good afternoon. What's happening on that end?
Good afternoon, Jimmy. Indeed, you know that for a country to run properly, it does need energy. And if your state of energy is on point, then the ripple effect is immense. Talk about employment, creating opportunities, which is very critical. And today, just looking at the budget estimates allocated to the sector of energy, of course, the departmental committee on energy was looking into this particular issue. But at this particular moment, I'm joined by the gentleman of the moment, starting with PS Alex, Energy. I know you have the chair. We'll be talking to the chair shortly. But as a State Department, what really came up from this back and forth with the MPs?
We have had a very productive session with the members of parliament, more so on the energy committee, in that our key priority projects, we have been able to outline them and given them the money that we need for us to achieve either completion or part completion. And these are our key priority projects. Some of them include transmission lines that we want to evacuate as much power from our generation sources to our load centers, and mainly coastal region and western Kenya. More so on that, we also have our last mile projects that are geared towards distributing power and achieving 100% power connectivity by the year 2028. We have also discussed about projects of clean cooking. We have also discussed about projects of reforestation, because as Minister of Energy, realizing that we generate our power from mainly hydro, geothermal, wind and solar, and 7% on thermal, reforestation of our water catchment areas is very essential, and that is why also reforestation is part of our deliverables, as well as clean cooking, because we want to get to realize clean cooking by the year 2028, whereby we reduce the use of biofuel, wood, and use more of renewable energy and clean cooking.
PS, maybe just to cut you short, some of the concerns that have been brought up, of course, when you talk about energy in the country, what comes top of mind is Kenya Power and Lighting Company. And one of the concerns that we've seen in the document for them is spending bills from the national government. Has there been sort of discussions to see how some of these arrests can be cleared, or is a discussion for another forum?
Well, we have had very good proposals coming from the Energy Committee on how we can safeguard Kenya Power in terms of the pending bills that Kenya Power has from government and county governments. But that discussion and the suggestion is going to come from the chairman of the Energy Committee, who is right here by my side. What I want to clearly point out is the importance of energy in transformation of our economy. The energy is a pivotal role and plays a critical role in terms of powering our industries. From the villages where we have welders, we have salons running, we have posho mills running, to our major industries that are iron smelting, are milling. Provision of clean renewable energy and more so stable energy 24/7 is one of our main priorities. Okay. And in Kenya, I want to tell Kenyans that I can assure you that power stability and energy security we have as a country. We are able now to generate about 3,321 megawatts with a peak demand of 2,149 megawatts. That gives us now, with the improved hydrology, is giving us enough spinning reserves, and so therefore we have been able to reduce our thermal generation and do more of clean power, more of hydro, and thereby now that is will shortly affect our power bills, where we are going to reduce the cost of power shortly. Okay. It may not be that significant, but there will be some significant some drop in terms of fuel costs and forex adjustment, mainly because we have increased our hydro generation. However, we are not out of the woods yet. We are yet to get to 1045 meters above sea level at Masinga Dam, which is our main reservoir. And once we get to 1045 at least, we can be able now to go full blast in terms of hydro generation. However, we still have about, our peak level at Masinga Dam is 1056. As at yesterday, we were at 1043.5. Therefore, it means that we still have about 13 meters to go. So we are praying that we get more rains so that we get more water in our hydros and then thereby reduce our thermal generation.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I know you shouted out the chair of the committee. So this is very, complementarity. It's mentioned that we have to be very positive that the power bills are coming down. But in regards to today's session, what really stood out? Because there are quite a number of issues, like some counties are dark because their lights are being cut off, street light and whatnot. What really stood out today, sir?
So today happens to be one of the most important parliamentary days because budget is one of the key roles that parliamentarians engage on. It is by understanding the budgets that we give our sagas that then becomes easy for us to be able to oversight the ministries. So we are extremely keen in looking at the budget so that we understand every single cent to which project is supposed to go and how this project is supposed to change the lives of Kenyans. And of course, we have different sagas, and there are certain salient issues around each of these sagas. We have Kenya Power, we have REREC, we have GDC, we have KETRACO, etc. And all these have certain specific issues that stood out in as far as this particular process with the committee is concerned. For instance, when you look at Kenya Power, we are all interested in understanding how now Kenya Power is responding in terms of its financial statements. You know, Kenya Power has really been going down. We believe the pricing structure that has existed has been a way of killing Kenya Power. You do not subsidize 90% of your customers and expect to survive. The current pricing structure that recognizes the hustlers and gives even a lower rate for the hustlers down there, then now slightly after that, then now tries to make a business model out of the business. I think that is going by far to rescue Kenya Power. And I'm thinking, moving forward, we may not need now this kind of subsidies that we've been given so that Kenya Power stays afloat. But there are specific issues that need of concern. For instance, the government has been spending money on street lighting. And you'll find that some of the street lighting programs that have been implemented, they are actually not lighting up the markets. Why? Because county governments who are actually supposed to put up this infrastructure, and after putting up the infrastructure, they also pay for the bills. They neither don't want to put up the infrastructure, and they also don't want to pay for the bills. And the national government says, look, these are your markets. You actually collect cess in these particular markets. We are going to help you to put up the infrastructure in terms of street lighting. Then you can pay the bills. But they do not want to do that. There's been a lot of standoff. We have contractors who've gone to counties. They do their projects. When they finish the projects, then the county governments don't want to take up these projects because they don't want to take up a small element of paying for these particular bills. And that's why we are saying that because we don't want to implement white elephants, we want, I'm proposing, and with my committee, to have a way we can have a line item. We've looked at how much it takes to light up the country, and it may not be a huge bill. So that maybe there could be a consideration that in future, if the county governments take non-committal, then there could be either a conditional grant to assist in paying these bills to Kenya Power, or we put up a line item in our budget so that it takes care of that. When you look at, for instance, REREC again has been core in terms of implementation of transmission lines. Look at energy budget, it's huge. We are talking about this year's estimates as 61 billion. These projects are going to implement projects that are supposed to change the lives of Kenyans. Part of which is last mile connectivity, getting public facilities light up. But we've always had a problem between REREC and Kenya Power. You find that Kenya Power, REREC has implemented projects that are funded by the national government. Then there is a long period between the implementation and completion of the project by REREC and commissioning of the same by Kenya Power. It gets to a point where a REREC contractor has left the site and Kenya Power takes a whole year or so to take up and light the community. And sometimes that you will be told there are no meters, there are no, the line was faulty by the time it was left by REREC. We have, as a committee, pronounced ourselves. No. REREC must work with Kenya Power closely, and we will term completion of a project as to the point when we see the light. Okay. And then,
right. No, I don't know if you can hear me.
With our coordination, we are going to change the structure. We are going to allow REREC be able to procure even meters, so that when a contractor goes to the site, they are able to go all the way to the metering point.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. That was quite a session, and I hope that from it we'll be able to sort of align and for the benefits of Kenyans at the end of the day. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Now, before you let your guest go,
yes,
there is a question that I would really want them to help us understand. And I've had the chair of the committee speak about the issue of the hustlers. Now, yesterday, of course, we were expecting the fuel prices, and they came out. One of the things that stood out is the fact that kerosene saw a rise of about 15 shillings. Can he explain to us what is happening in that space and what they're going to do to be able to make sure that kerosene, which a lot of hustlers use, goes back down?
Exactly, that's very important. Sir, if you may just approach also with when appears cost of power, and I know our time was running out, but hopefully we have some more time to speak about this issue. I mean, look at the pump prices yesterday. Yeah, one of them is kerosene, has gone up by quite a sizable amount, 15 shillings, and we're talking about bottom-up economics. Is this a counter the narrative that the government is saying is standing for about cost of energy and making life cheaper for Kenyans?
Well, I don't think that is the way. We have been facing a very serious challenge that we must address as a nation. And that is the problem of fuel adulteration. And what happens is that Kenyans have become very tricky. They will buy diesel, and then they will buy kerosene, they mix up, and they sell at the price of diesel. This is a problem that has been a major concern, because what happens is that even the vehicles you use, when now then you put the wrong fuel, then it also becomes a cause of a problem. Okay. So basically what we are trying to say is that we are trying to upgrade Kenyans slowly to move from the kerosene thing to gas. The president pronounced himself very well on matters of gas. So it is not really trying to increase the price of kerosene without a plan.
It's countering adulteration.
Countering adulteration, and at the same time using the resources for the plan to ensure that we get every single Kenyan as a gas cylinder. That is already aligned in our budget. Okay. So there is a plan.
Okay. Yeah, there's always a plan.
Yeah, it's not really a cause of concern. Yeah. It is actually a move in the right direction, so that Kenyans, because less and less Kenyans are now moving from kerosene, we are trying to migrate them to using the gas. And the difference, which has also helped us to counter adulteration, is actually to finance the gas cylinders and also give Kenyans affordable gas.
Yeah, and Bwana Pierre, still on pump prices. I mean, we are talking about now prices going up 3 shillings, kerosene 15 shillings, but also proposition by the Finance Bill 2023, 16% VAT, that will see these prices go up, maybe a liter of petrol, crossing over to 200 shillings. Is this a concern that the government is taking into consideration? VAT proposals on fuel, doubling that to 16%?
Well, I need to make it clear that my state department is for energy and not petroleum. And but the chair for the committee, who has adequately pronounced himself and actually elaborated the point in regard to kerosene, is the chair for energy and petroleum. But the PS is the PS for energy. And so therefore, this will be, I'll be crossing over to my counterpart, but the chair for committee has adequately answered the question.
But it appears you've really protected yourself there by just saying, I'm going to stick to my lane. And we appreciate that. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Jimmy, that's it. Sticking to the lanes, but saying that we are funding the energy sector to make sure that it's prosperous, despite this changing environment of prices going up, which is quite a concern. And you've heard there, kerosene going up is anti-adulteration, and it's not necessarily making prices go up for the hustler as it is put. Back to you in studio.
All right, Noah, thank you very much. And of course, that is one thing that I'm sure for the users of kerosene, they will not be taking it lightly. Now, let's